Good evening. It's another year, another Christmas, and this is Naeem back again for 12 days of content sharing challenge. So very much in line with the 12 days of Christmas theme. Every year I've shared 12 days of content for you, and it's a challenge that we put out there for you to try and do yourselves as well. And 12 consecutive days of information sharing to help other people understand a little bit about more what you do and give them some help and support and advice. So today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is customer retention. Customer retention is a really important part of any successful business, but it's one that is often overlooked. And that's why I'm quite passionate about it. And that's why I talk about it a lot, because you often see people running around with businesses, and you often see people constantly looking for new customers, new clients, trying new things, and they often forget or maybe don't pay as much attention to their existing customers as maybe they should. And what then happens is, because they're always focusing on the new customers, what's happening is their existing customers are thinking, well, we're not being looked after, they're not feeling the love, and they start dropping out. And the reason why I started talking about this a lot was that there was a UK Customer Service Institute report, 2018, I think it was, and it said that more than 60% of customers reported that they were unhappy with the service they received from one of their existing suppliers. And out of that, those people who are unhappy, at least 40% of them just said, look, we didn't complain, we just went somewhere else. So not looking after your existing customers is a massive point of failure and a massive loss of business opportunity for you. And I think of it as a leaky bucket. You know, you've got a business owner, they're walking around this big bucket, trying to fill it full of water, fill it full of new customers, constantly doing this. And what's happening at the bottom is they're losing customers all over the place, and they're not paying attention to those customers. And it seems a real shame that you went to all that time and effort to try and convert that customer, to acquire that customer at the start, that you don't pay them enough attention, that you retain them, and then you don't keep them for repeat purchases. And repeat purchases are way more profitable than first-time buyers, because when you're looking at a customer for the first time, the cost of acquisition, the amount of time you've got to convince them to buy from you will be way more than a repeat customer who already knows what you're like, who's already tried you out, who already knows you, likes you, and trusts you. And for that reason, not paying attention to your existing customers is a real shame for most businesses, and it's an opportunity lost. The cost of acquiring a new customer can be 5 to 25 times more expensive than retaining an existing customer. And that's according to a really good article that I read from Amy Gallo, published in HBR a few years ago. And what does that mean? That means if it costs you £20 to acquire a customer, then to retain that customer, it'll cost you a fraction of that. It could cost you £2, £3, £4. So obviously the profitability of that repeat transaction is way, way more. So do you pay attention to this? Do you put in place customer retention programs? Do you put incentives in place? Do you follow up with your existing customers and look after them and treat them well, remember their names? There's all sorts of things that you could be doing for your existing customers in order to keep them. But do you bother? Do you give it as much importance as you do to a new customer? And one of the things you've got to think about in this instance is those customer service standards. Do you maintain those standards for new customers and existing customers? A number of companies will treat their existing customers less well than their new customers. A very famous satellite company that I constantly have fallouts with, when you're a new customer, they give you great offers, they give you great service. But if you're an existing customer, you seem to go to the back of a queue, the wait time's longer, the cost goes up, the way they look after you completely changes. And for that reason, those customers will often feel like they're not looked after. They're not valued as much as a new customer. And yet, if you did value them, if you did show them a bit more love and attention, they would potentially become even better customers for you and become advocates. And advocates is what we want. If you comment below on this, I will send you my 12 12 steps to creating your own effective customer service strategy. I'll happily share that link out with you. But today has been about customer retention. And if it's something you've maybe not paid enough attention to, if you feel like you are regularly doing a great job with your customers and they don't seem to come back for those repeat sales, if you feel that those customers should be coming back for the other services that you promised them and they're not coming back, it sounds like you have a leak in your business somewhere. It sounds like somewhere along the way you are not giving them the care and attention they deserve. It sounds like some part of your organization or your sales process or your customer service process is lacking, and you should definitely look at that. So comment below and I will happily send you a link to our 12-page, our 12-step customer service strategy document. This is Naeem. I'm doing day 1 of the 12 days of content sharing challenge. So for the next 12 days, I will be sharing a piece of content and I will be sharing some value to my audience who will be listening. So stay tuned, same sort of time every day for the next 12 days. I'll share a different topic every day. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you tomorrow.